They say big things happen in Texas, and big things are happening tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the air, and we are with the Southern Motorsports Racing League live from Texas Motor Speedway. And we are with the Xfinity cars tonight. In fact, the PZ Productions Xfinity series at Texas Motor Speedway. And yeah, gonna be a very decent race tonight. A lot of the same names you're gonna see usually in the Cup Series that we run on Thursday nights. That I'll be broadcasting tomorrow. This is you'll have to excuse me for my tardiness tonight. This was a last-minute deal with Mr. Paul Zota, as he couldn't make it tonight. So, yeah, I'm here tonight. Tony Trapasso will be joining me very shortly, and yeah, we're going to get this show on the road. We got just under 5.5 minutes left of fast laps to go. Right, let's get into it. We're into the Xfinity series tonight, the B cars, as you would say. We have a 22 cars showing on my screen right now, but 21 will be in there right now as Tony Rice is currently disconnected. Not sure if he's going to get back into it. But as we are just under 5 minutes from qualifying, let's go through our current results out on track. We have Joe Mitchell, usual Cup Series driver. He's sitting at the top of the standings. He's 82 thousandths of a second ahead of Kurt Davis in second. Lupe Gonzalez sits third. Travis Wall fourth. Tom Clayton in fifth. Shane Papala is in sixth. Braden Johnson is in seventh. Eighth, Jeff Glockner. Ninth, Mike Grandy. And rounding out the top 10 in practice is Timothy Lewis. In 11th place is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. 12th is Jay Felton. 13th is Billy Howard. 14th is Len McNeese. 15th is Doug Blackman. 16th is Ron Holyfield. 17th Jeff Harp. 18th Justin Rogers. 19th is Ronald Henry. And rounding out the top 20 in practice is Tim Giles. 22nd. Whoa, someone just popped up. Let me just have a look. Brian Neff jumping in the top 20 out of nowhere, just as I was calling out the field. Nice one, Brian. Tony Rice has laid down a time, but I'm not sure if he's going to be available to race, as he's currently disconnected, as I've already said. Anyway, let's get back to the on-track action. I'm apologising now for the sound, ladies and gentlemen. I might have put the sound volume a bit too high, but never mind. We'll get through it, as we always do. Let's do this. As we are currently with Brian Neff in the number 89. Oh no, Shane Papala, sorry. My God, I've had a bad start already. I do this a lot, you know. I have bad starts and then it builds up as the race goes on, but never mind. This is Shane Papala turning some laps there, going into turn 1 and turn 2. We've got 2.5 minutes left of hot lap sessions to go. We've got Joe Mitchell there in the number 18. Looking good there in the Toyota. Travis Wall. Oh, just going for a spin there in the 44. In the Piggly Wiggly car. Hopefully getting those spins out of the way before the race actually begins. Let's go to Braden Johnson, who's just making his way out of pit road in the number 8 Bass Pro Shop tracker machine. Jeff Glockner, he's in pit road right now, as is Aaron Mulrooney. Big shout out to everybody that's watching the broadcast right now. Hopefully we'll get some more in soon, but who knows. You never know. Anyway, minute and a half to go in hot laps. Sorry, Trading Paints is being a douche right now. We'll get that fixed as soon as possible. I am fixing that now, actually. Looking at Justin Rogers there in that nice lime green Camaro. Oh my god. This race is only going to be... this broadcast is either going to be good or terrible. Either one. I'd like to get the jokes and the bad stuff out of the way first, and then we can have a really good race as the as it progresses. No, not that one. There we go. And I'll take that down. That one. Oh dear. There we go. Now, let's get started as we're 20 seconds to go before qualifying. Trading Paints is being a bit slow tonight, so I do apologise. Go back to Braden Johnson there, who's coming through 3 and 4. And he's bringing a pit side. Jeff Glockner still with a white car. I only apologise for that. Trading Paints, what are you doing to me tonight? Ron Holyfield, Brian Neff in the 60 as we are now going to qualifying. Let's see who comes out on track first. That'll be Aaron Mulrooney Jr. He's sitting on pit road right now. There is Travis Wall. Had a good run last night, last time out in the Cup cars. Let's see if you can have a good run again tonight in the Xfinity cars. There's Jeff Sharp in the number 73. Tim Giles in the Carl Busch inspired M&M Caramel 19. Billy Howard in the 87. Let me put up the top 5 so we can see what times come in and do not come in, whichever be the case. We should get our first times in very soon. This is a very fast track. It's a 1.5 mile cookie cutter track, as people call it. Not that one. We are in Fort Worth in Texas. Track length is 1.460 miles. Weather, we have 70 Fahrenheit ambient air temperature. Track temperature is 80.8 Fahrenheit, humidity of 55%, and it is mostly cloudy out there, so kind of make things a bit interesting out there, but who knows. Let's take that down, go back to the top 5 now, as we've got Joe Mitchell sitting top of the standings. He's going out for another run. Travis Wall as well, going out for another run. Shane Pipala there in the number 89 Valvoline machine. I only say Valvoline because it's the only thing I saw on the car. Anyway, Brian there, locking them down, coming out of turn 2. Is that turn 2? I don't know. Ron Holyfield, he's stopped on track in the number 7 AC Delco machine. Jay Felton sitting on pit road. Jeff Glockner in the 24 is there. Apologies, my nose is playing up again. Don't care. Anyway, Billy Howard in the 87 sitting on pit road as well. Justin Rogers in that 21 Rome machine is hitting the wall on the backstretch. Not sure how that's going to work there, Justin, but there we go. I think everybody's just about finishing off their qualifying laps. Joe Mitchell is out on track right now. He is currently sitting at the top of the standings, though. Travis Wall in second, Braden Johnson third, Shaper Parler fourth, and Tom Clayton rounding out the top 5 here in Texas for qualifying. So a lot of the familiar names up the front there, the guys from the Cup Series really putting down the good times tonight. As everybody else is finishing off their times. Braden Johnson sitting on pit road. Think he might have done enough tonight. Everybody is sitting on the pit road now. As you see Ronald Henry in that 76. Love Texas machine. Lonestar machine, sorry. Oh my god, I am bad tonight. Lonestar State. I like your thinking there, Ronald. Well done. As he stops there on the back stretch. Everybody just finishing off their qualifying runs. I don't think we've got anybody out on track right now, so that is going to be it for qualifying. Let's bring up the results there. We've got Joe Mitchell fast time with a 29.458. Second place is Travis Wall. Third, Braden Johnson. Fourth, Shane Papala. Fifth, Tom Clayton. Sixth, Brian Neff. Seventh is Doug Blackman. Eighth, Ron Holyfield. Ninth, Jay Felton. And rounding out the top 10 is Jeff Sharp. In 11th place is Jeff Glockner. 12th is Billy Howard. 13th is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. 14th, Ronald Henry. So getting himself up the table just before the qualifying end. His qualifying run ended. 15th is Timothy Lewis. 16th is Justin Rogers. 17th is, well, I'm not going to say now because 17th is Len McNeese. 18th is Tim Giles. 19th, Lupe Gonzalez. Didn't put a time down. 20th, Mike Grandy, and 21st, and that's it. Let's go for the grid now. On your front row, we have Joe Mitchell with an unofficial lap record of 29.458. Joining him on that front row is Travis Wall. Row number 2 consists of Braden Johnson and Shane Papala. Row 3 will be Tom Clayton and Brian Neff. Row 4, Doug Blackman and Ron Holyfield. Row 5 will be Jay Felton and Jeff Sharp. Row number 6, Jeff Glockner and Billy Howard. Row 7, Aaron Mulrooney Jr., my god, butchering names tonight, and Ronald Henry. Row number 7 is Timothy Lewis and Justin Rogers. Row number 8 is Len McNeese and Tim Giles. Okay. And here is the rest of your field. Lupe Gonzalez and Mike Grandy not taking time. Neither did Kurt Davison and Tony Rice. Okay. Going to our field now. We'll go on to Joe Mitchell there, who's sitting on the pole. Got 21 cars taking the green tonight. Doesn't look, looks like Ronald Henry might be starting from pit road. Nope, there he is. He's gridded up. Tony Rice, I don't think he's going to be going anytime soon. I think he must have left the server. So we've got 21 cars taking the green tonight as they leave for their formation lap. Well, their pacing lap, as you guys might call it. Put the loop up so people can see. Making their way through turns 1 and 2 behind the pace car. See how things shape up there. This is a very difficult 1.5 mile oval, and we're I'm actually looking forward to this race. This is going to be a pretty damn good one. So yeah, I hope you guys are entertained, and I hope I can entertain you as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Joe Mitchell is going to lead them down across the stripe when the pace car pulls off. Okay, here we go. Pace car is off. And away we go! 145 laps at Texas Motor Speedway in the PZ Productions Xfinity Series. And Joe Mitchell off to an extremely fast start now. Getting a few car lengths over Travis Wall, who sits in second place. He's got a good gap over Braden Johnson, who's under fire from Shane Pipala right now. Going through turns 3 and 4. First lap is about to be completed. Let's put it on the race thing. There we go. So, Joe Mitchell, Travis Wall, Braden Johnson, Shane Pipala, Brian Neff, Tom Clayton, Doug Blackman, Ron Holyfield, Jay Felton and Jeff Sharp. All in the same positions, actually, as we are now on lap 2. And that is your top 10. As they're making their way through turns 3 and 4 now to complete lap 2. Got a bit back further in the field. We have got some pretty tasty battles already in this race. We go back to Doug Blackman there. And the number 27 car, he's under pressure from Ron Holyfield in the, I will say, classic AC Delco scheme. Trying to get that inside line to work, going through 3 and 4, not going to make it happen this time round. As Travis Wall is now caught onto the back of Joe Mitchell as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Can he make something work here, or is it just going to be single file racing for this first stage? I actually forgot what the stages are. Paul did tell me earlier. Let me find out. Okay, first stage will end at lap 45, second stage will end at lap 90, so we're looking at lap 45 for when the first stage will end, lap 90 when the second stage will end, and we've already got some close racing between the top two. As Wall makes a dive for the inside and tries to go for the lead. Can he make it stick? He's got the speed there on that inside line and he takes it away from Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell gets a run on the outside now, going for the tri-oval, crosses the line to complete lap 5. They're side by side going into turn 1. Oh, Travis Wall has the line and he takes it away. He finally gets the clear going out of turn 2. Here comes Joe Mitchell again. He's going to make that inside line going into turn 3. Gets the clear from Travis Wall, so they're swapping positions away. And they're already 1.7 seconds ahead of Braden Johnson, sitting back there in third place. He's managed to shake off Shane Pipala. So good for him. There is Shane Pipala there in fourth place. Tom Clayton is a bit further back in fifth place. He's 1.1 seconds behind Shane Pipala. Being chased down by Ron Holyfield still. Brian Neff is there in 7th place. He's got a nice little battle going. There's a four-way battle for that 7th place with Jay Felton, Jeff Sharp, and thank you for the subscribe. Doug Blackman. They make their way through the tri-oval. This is very loud racing, but I love it. Love the sound of those engines. Keeping an eye on Brian Neff. This battle for 7th place between Neff, Felton, Sharp and Blackman. Glockner is there. There's a huge line there as Jay Felton makes a move on the inside of Neff. Gets the clear. Neff is stuck on that high side as the 73 of Jeff Sharp is going to make his way on the inside. Can he make it stick? They're side by side going through the tri-oval. Still stuck on that bottom line. As Doug Blackman is there as well. Jeff Glockner in 11th place, just sitting back and watching things as they transpire, with Aaron Mulrooney there in 12th place as well. So we've got a nice battle here, nice queue of cars. Jay Felton taking that position away from Brian Neff, and he's been released now. He is going after Ron Holyfield. So Jay Felton definitely had some speed in that car. He felt he had some speed in that car. He's finally got past Brian Neff and he's definitely chasing down the AC Delco car of Ron Holyfield right now. Meanwhile, back at the front, Travis Wall is back in front again. He's managed to get around Joe Mitchell again. So these guys trading places for that first place. Braden Johnson, meanwhile, he's still got Shane Pipala behind him, but Shane Pipala not really much of a threat right now. He's about just half a car length behind Braden Johnson. Meanwhile, we can go back to that battle for 7th place. Well, it's not really a battle for 7th place, it's more a battle for 8th place now, as Brian Neff is now under pressure from Doug Blackman. Coming out of turn 4 into the tri-oval. Blackman not really doing much about the speed he's got going on. Behind Neff going into 1 and 2. Looking on that outside line, but Neff is very quick to cover that position. Jeff Sharp there right behind them in 10th place, so he's the last car in the top 10. He's got Mulrooney Jr. right behind him in 11th. And Lupe Gonzalez making his way through the field now. He actually didn't take a time in qualifying, and he started near the back of the field. He is up into 12th already. So that number 53 is flying out there. Although this track can be a tyre killer sometimes, so he needs to be careful. Otherwise, he's going to burn those tyres off very quickly and is going to end up falling back for the field again. Back to the front again now. Shane Wall is there, still in the lead. He's got a 0.3 of a second gap over Joe Mitchell. We've seen in the past that Joe Mitchell likes to save his tyres, and who can forget the race at Las Vegas when he actually switched the car off in order to save fuel. That was an interesting situation to see as they're making their way through turns 1 and 2. Got a nice gap over Shane Pipala, who's moved up to 3rd place now. Finally made his way past Braden Johnson. Braden Johnson just happy to sit there behind him in 4th place, but would have liked to have stayed in 3rd, but Shane Pipala had other ideas. Tom Clayton is rounding out the top 5. He is on an island all to himself now, as Jay Felton has found his way past Ron Holyfield now, and he's now chasing down Clayton. Going to be an uphill struggle though, because Tom Clayton, even though he's got no drafting partner, he has got some decent speed in that car. As I've just seen someone come out of pit road. Wasn't Mike Grandy. What did I miss there? Let's go back to Tim Giles. A couple of decent NASCAR Cup Series paint schemes on these Xfinity cars tonight. We've got the number 4 of Timothy Lewis battling out with Tim Giles. Tim Lewis driving the Kevin Harvick Freaky Fast JJ scheme, and Tim Giles driving the Kyle Busch inspired M&M scheme, as they are coming up on the number 60 as the number 87 of Billy Howard. Nice little battle going on here, as they are 2 by 2 going through the tri-oval. And that's the number 84 just ahead of him, of Len McNeese. He backs off and lets the 87 through. Blocks Tim Giles. Tim Giles has had to back off. Tim Giles could be in a bit of trouble here. Got a bit loose going into turn 3. Had to back out of it. It's a pretty good save there for Giles. Not bad at all. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've still got Wall, Mitchell in 2nd place, Pipala in 3rd, Tom Clayton in 4th now, Jay Felton 5th. What has happened to Braden Johnson? He's 2 laps down. I'm not sure what's happened to him. Disaster for Braden, as he was having such a good run to start with, but he's now 2 laps down at the back of the field, and now he's got a uphill struggle to get back to the front of the field again. Let's go to Jay Felton, who's in 5th place now. But he's not making up any ground on Tom Clayton. We would have thought he was going to be released after he passed Brian Neff, who incidentally has fallen back outside the top 10 and is now under pressure from Jeff Glockner. Brian Neff not having the best of times out there in that number 60 machine. Had a decent qualifying run, got out into the top 10, but now he's under pressure from everybody. As Glockner has now got the inside line going into turn 1. Gets the clear almost. He's got a nose in front as they make their way out of turn 2 onto the backstretch. Gets the clear and they're on the backstretch, and Jeff Glockner takes that 11th place away from Brian Neff. Lots of action going on right now. Ronald Henry right there in the... Oh, we've got a spinner there. That's the number... Who's that? That was the number 84 of Len McNeese. Let's go back and watch what happened there. Coming out of turn 4. That was number 87, was it? I don't know. I've lost track. Now, anyway, let's go back to Len Menezes as he's battling it out with the 87 of Billy Howard. Tim Giles sitting right there behind him in 20th place. Braden Johnson still 2 laps down in 21st and last car running. Everybody's still running fine apart from Tony Rice, who opted not to start tonight's race. I'm guessing connection gremlins have come back to haunt him. Back at the front, Travis Wall is now over a second, well, just about a second ahead of Joe Mitchell, who's completely backed off now. But as I said already this evening, Joe Mitchell is a master at saving his tyres and fuel, so watch for him to come back as this first stage progresses. Lap 45 we're looking for the stage to end. And at the moment it's in Travis Wall's hands, but we've still got just over 20 laps to go at the line. Oh, as Travis Wall nearly hits the wall there. No pun intended. Sorry guys, just sorting something out here as we see Joe Mitchell still trying to chase down Travis Wall. He is actually making a good run for himself. He's got the gap back down to half a second. I wonder if Travis Wall actually did hit that safer barrier coming out of turn 2, and that damage may be causing him a few troubles. Who knows? Let's go back to the battle for the top 5. As we've got someone going to pit road, that'll be Tom Clayton making his way down pit road. He's the first one to blink. I think he must have used all his tyres up at this juncture. Let's go to Doug Blackman, who's sitting in that 5th place, behind Ron Holyfield, who's holding on to the 4th place spot in that number 7. Lupe Gonzalez is now up into 7th place. That guy is flying right now. I didn't see it, but Shane Papala actually pit as well under the pit. So green flag pit stops are underway. Tom Clayton just coming out of pit road right there. Let's see who else decides to bring it down pit side. No one I can see right now, but we've got Shane Papala, Tom Clayton and Kurt Davidson have made pit stops already. Braden Johnson there, 2 laps down. Not sure what happened to him. We'll find out later in the race. Travis Wall still there in the lead, but he's got Joe Mitchell right behind him. Travis Wall getting really loose on that outside wall, coming out of turn 2. as he's coming down pit road now. Joe Mitchell coming with him. Can he slow down in time? Oh, that was very close. Go to the pit box cam as they are the only two coming down pit road right now. Those are our leaders, as that looks like Adam Mulrooney Jr. coming down as well. No, it's not. We've got a whole gaggle of cars there as Joe Mitchell and Travis Wall make it through. Who's going to get out of pit road first? Both taking 4 tyres, which is the understandable thing to do. As Joe Mitchell makes it out of pit road first, Travis Wall cannot beat him in the pit road. As he's going to get passed by Shane Papala as well, who's got a really good speed coming out of turn 2. Shane Papala beats them in pit road, but he's got 2 laps extra older tyres, so Joe Mitchell and Travis Wall might be back up onto him very, very soon. At the moment, our leader is Ron Holyfield with Doug Blackman right behind him. Those are our leaders right now. Lupe Gonzalez still continuing his charge for the field. He's up to 3rd now. Len McNeese is 4th. Jeff Glottner in the top 5 now. No, he's in pit road. And the Boudreaux, with the Boudreaux's butt paste car. He's in pit road now, getting for Mr. Feelgoods and some good old Sunoco fuel as we're concentrating on the battle for the lead right now. Ron Holyfield holds on to it. Doug Blackman wants it. Tom Clayton going around them with ease on the fresher tyres, and he gets that lap back off them. So Holyfield and Blackman might be in a bit of trouble here as Lupe Gonzalez connection issues for the 53. Unfortunate for Lupe because he's been having such a good run. Back with the net leaders now, and Shane Papala is holding on for dear life over Travis Wall, who's tilting him down in 2nd place. Travis Wall's going to make the dive on the inside now as they go into turn 3. This is for the overall lead as Ron Holyfield and Doug Blackman and Len McNeese have got to pit yet as Travis Wall retakes the position from Shane Papala that he lost in pit road. Here comes Joe Mitchell now. He's going to go down that inside as well on Shane Papala. Going to make a stick? Yes, very easily. Shane Papala just lets him have it. Coming out of turn 2 now, they are closing down on Tim Giles. We've got Doug Blackman in pit road now, finally making his pit stop. Good to see him down pit road now, but he's going to lose a ton of spots now. Ron Holyfield still staying out. He's being chased down by not Joe Mitchell. Where is he? Who's chasing him down? That would be Kurt Davidson in that 41 Liberty machine. Takes that spot away easily from Ron Holyfield. Ron Holyfield has really got to pit in soon, otherwise he's going to be hit hard. When that pit stop comes, he's going to be put at least a lap down if this carries on, because our fast boys, as they say, are back on the lead lap, and they are rapidly closing down on both Len McNeese and Ron Holyfield. I wonder if Ron Holyfield is actually going to try and make it to the end of the stage. We are only 7 laps to go at the line, so maybe he's got... No, he's bringing it down pit road. There he is. So that's answered my question straight away. He's straight into pit road. That just leaves Len McNeese out in the front now. Question is, how long will it be before he comes down pit road, as Travis Wall and Joe Mitchell are closing in on him very, very quickly. They're only 1.5 seconds behind as Joe Mitchell and Travis Wall resume their battle from before the pit stop started. Travis Wall holds on as they go into turn 3. Lemon Nice not going to bring it down pit side this time, and that's going to be bad news for him because here comes Travis Wall. Tim Giles using Tim Giles as a pick to get past him, and Travis Wall is in the lead. Joe Mitchell back up to second place, and Lemon Nice, I'm afraid, could be in a bit of trouble here. Shane Papala's going to close on him very quickly as well, as he's also on fresher tyres. I wonder if Lemon Nice, was it a case of he couldn't get down to pit road as he was on the outside? That is a no, because he's staying out this time round as well. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've still got this battle between Travis Wall and Joe Mitchell. They are coming up on Lupe Gonzalez, who's unfortunately 3 laps down after his connection issues. Unfortunate for him. And they're coming up on Ron Holyfield, who didn't lose a lap, but he's about to. As look, here come the leaders now. Going into turn 1. And they've got Tim Giles for company still. Tim Giles still holding on behind them. Tim Giles looking to hopefully gain a position from Ron Holyfield from this. They come out of turn 2 onto the back stretch. Oh, Travis Wall still very close to that safer barrier. As we are just under 5 to go, we're about 3 to go before the caution comes out to end the first stage. Joe Mitchell still puts Travis Wall under pressure as they're going into turn 1 past the tri-oval. Joe Mitchell not really going to put any more pressure on him, just going to stay right behind him. I believe my my stream is stuttering slightly, guys. I do apologise for the bad connection. I am going to try and fix it, but not really much I can do at this moment in time. I can only apologise for the bad stream right now. I can have it fixed for tomorrow, though. I will promise you that. Meanwhile, back to the race at hand. Still Travis Wall out in the lead. Let's go. And there's the caution to end the stage.
Be ready with that brake clean and stuff, guys.
Travis Wall, your stage winner. Second place is Joe Mitchell. Third place is Shane Papala. Fourth place in the stage is Tom Clayton. Running out the top 5 in the stage is Kurt David, Jay Felton. Sixth is Kurt Davidson there in the Liberty Machine. Seventh is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. Jeff Sharp is in 8th in the stage. 9th, Doug Blackman. And rounding out the top 10 is Mike Grandy, who's made his way through the field, so good on him. Slowing down for the pace car now. There it is on the back stretch. So yeah, we are having a few technical issues on the stream, guys. Just bear with me, I'm going to try and see if I can fix it somehow. Actually, it doesn't look that bad. I take that back. I just looked on my phone and it's looking pretty smooth, if I'm honest. Now, let's go back to the race. I do apologise. I had to wait till the the end of the stage to sort that out. But as they come down pit road now, who's going to make it out in first place? As Travis Wall overshoots his pit box, does he? No, they made it in. Who's going to get the faster lap time? We see Jeff Glockner coming down there to make his pit stall. He gets in nicely. Well done for him. Everybody in pit road. Joe Mitchell going to win the race off pit road again, and Shane Impala wins the race off pit road for second. Great pit stop for him. As Travis Wall has got issues. Travis Wall. Huge issues for Travis Wall. What has happened to him? He's had to tow and go back into pit road. Oh. Disaster for Wall. Go back to the race. Shane Impala beat him off pit road, but didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, there was no contact between the two. Travis Wall still sits on pit road. I'm going to go back about there. Go back to the replay and watch what happened. There was no contact between Impala and Wall. Wall comes out and he just slows down. Amazing. Oh, interesting strategy, interesting thing to happen there to Travis Wall. Very unfortunate, but that's promoted. Well, Shane Impala in second place. Jay Felton's been promoted to third. That's a great pit stop for him. Tom Clayton up to fourth. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. is in fifth. Doug Blackman is sixth. Kurt Davidson seventh. Jeff Sharp is eighth. Timothy Lewis is in ninth in that number 4 Kevin Harvick inspired machine. And rounding out the top 10 is Ronald Henry. So interesting things to happen as it looks like Travis Wall is taking his car behind the wall. Oh, what has happened to Travis Wall? He led so many laps tonight and it's just all come undone. All because of one pit stop. I would like to speak to him, but he's not in TeamSpeak, so I won't be able to speak to him now, so never mind. As they are now 2 by 2. Lights are off on the pace car as they're making their way through turns. Wait for it. 1 and 2. There we go. We are focused on Joe Mitchell as they make their way onto the backstretch to start stage 2 out of 3. Lap 90 is the next lap we're looking for to finish off stage 2. As they make their way into turn 3, who's going to get the best start this time round? Joe Mitchell has lost his closest rival. Can anybody else step up to challenge him as they are about to go green? The pace car is about to pull off. Look at Jay Felton, he's right behind Joe Mitchell. He's going to try and get a good restart behind him. Pace car is off. And Joe Mitchell gets him going again. Jay Felton gets a good start with him, right up alongside Shane Impala. Shane Impala getting a difficult restart on that outside. Jay Felton is alongside him. Let's go to that battle right now. Inside line, no, Shane Impala wins that battle there, making the outside line work and keeping that second place. Aaron Mulrooney Jr., he's made his way up to 4th place. He managed to jump Tom Clayton on that restart. Good restart from him. But look at Joe Mitchell, he's absolutely pulling away already. Already half a second ahead of Shane Impala, and nobody's got an answer for him tonight. Not really sure what he's put in that car, but it seems to be working right now as this battle for second place really fizzling out right now. Jay Felton's backed off a bit. Aaron Mulrooney though is still under pressure from Tom Clayton as they make their way through the 3-4 complex and onto the tri-oval.
Doug Blackman is in 6th place. Not really under pressure from anybody trying to chase down Tom Clayton. Kurt Davidson in 7th there. He's under huge pressure from Jeff Sharp and Timothy Lewis. And you know what? I'm feeling generous. Let's go back to there. And let's crank it up for a couple of laps. Going back to Joe Mitchell now. He's now over half a second ahead of Shane Pipala, who himself is almost a full second ahead of Jay Felton as they make their way onto lap 56 of 145. Tom Clayton is about to fall into the clutches of Aaron Mulrooney Jr. and a whole gaggle of cars behind him. This could get very interesting very soon. If Tom Clayton's not clever enough to get away from them, or not careful, I mean, sorry, I take that back. And Mulrooney Jr. doing whatever he can to close down the gap between him and Clayton. Look at that train of cars. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got from Clayton all the way back to Ron Holyfield. They're in 15th place. They are all so close together. Throw a blanket over those 10 cars. There's a 10-car train going through turn 1 right now. Not really any passing happening right now. Everybody's single file. Not really much happening right now. Billy Howard there in the 87's got Jeff Glockner right behind him. Jeff Glockner having a pretty decent run tonight as he jumps on the inside of the 87. The 87's going to give it to him, or is he? He's going to make a run on the outside again, coming out of turn 4. Here comes Billy Howard. No, slots in between him and Holyfield. Very close racing between those 3 drivers, at least anyway. And Jeff Glockner takes away 13th place from Billy Howard. Let's go up to Kurt Davidson there, who's got Timothy Lewis underneath him. Timothy Lewis going to try and take that 8th place away from him. Right there, he's right underneath him, he's alongside, he's got the inside line, he's got the momentum. And he takes away 8th place from Kurt Davidson, who's now under pressure from Brian Neff, who's right on his tail. But look, here comes Mike Grandy on the inside of Neff. And takes away that 10th place position. So Mike Grandy up into the top 10. He started literally at the back of the field at the start of this race, just like Lupe Gonzalez did. And yeah, he's another one making his way through the field. Unfortunately though, Lupe Gonzalez is there battling away with Tim Giles. He is 4 laps down after connection issues of what could have been for that man right there. Go back to the battle for 5th place as Aaron Mulrooney Jr. is under pressure from Doug Blackman and Jeff Sharp and Timothy Lewis, who's actually caught to the back of those three. Doug Blackman taking a small look on the inside, not really much room there, staying right on his tail. As they come out of turn 2, my God. Onto the backstretch, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. holding on for dear life as Doug Blackman really wants a position. Here comes Timothy Lewis on the inside of Jeff Sharp. Unable to make it stick this time round as they go for the tri-oval and into turn 1. They're on lap 63 now out of 145. Not able to take that position away as Doug Blackman taking another look on the inside of Mulrooney Jr. Not really making a concrete pass as Jeff Sharp is under pressure again from Timothy Lewis. Timothy Lewis got a better run going into turn 3. Still alongside him coming out of turn 4, but not really able to get a nose in front. Still stuck to that rear quarter panel. Now he's alongside going into turn 1. And he's clear. He's got the position away, but here comes Sharp back again on the outside. This is going to be close racing as they go down the backstretch. It's going to be a drag race to turn 3. Jeff Sharp got the nose out in front. As Timothy Lewis has taken it away now, just about, and he's taken away 7th place from Jeff Sharp. Good battle in there between the 4 and the 73 as he goes on the in. Here he comes again, Timothy Lewis on the inside of Doug Blackman now. He's not finished. Thought better of it, but fell back into the clutches of Jeff Sharp for a while. But here he comes again on the inside of Doug Blackman. We're going to keep an eye on this guy because he's absolutely flying for the field right now. Is Timothy Lewis. Starting to back off a bit. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. making it and taking a very strange line going through turn 2, trying to diamond it and see if he can save more tyres, but not doing too badly actually. He's managed to make a bit more of a gap over himself and Doug Blackman, who's under pressure again from Timothy Lewis. Timothy Lewis is alongside him as they go for the tri-oval, going towards turn 1 and 2. And Timothy Lewis gets the clear and is now up to 6th place. Next target, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. Can he get up to him? As Doug Blackman comes back again. This battle is not going to be as easy as he thought, as Doug Blackman takes away 6th place back from Timothy Lewis. Meanwhile, up into 8th place now is the 12 of Mike Grandy. He's managed to get around Jeff Sharp as well. Another guy that's on a good run in that number 12 Chevrolet. Go back to the front now as we've got Shane Papala, who's actually caught back up to Joe Mitchell now for the lead of this race. So interesting battling going on right now as they make their way out of turn 3 and 4. Turns 3 and 4, that's the one. Going over the start finish line now to start lap 69 out of 145. 21 laps remaining before the end of stage 2, and Joe Mitchell is at the front of the field with Shane Papala second, Jay Felton a distant third, Tom Clayton is in 4th, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. rounds out the top 5. Timothy Lewis is up to 6th now after getting back around Doug Blackman, who's there in 7th. Mike Grandy is in 8th, Jeff Sharp 9th, and Brian Neff now up to 10th. Ron Henry is in 11th, Jeff Glockner is 12th, Holyfield 13th, Billy Howard is in 14th, Tim Giles 15th, Justin Rogers is in 16th, as Kurt Davidson is in pit road. Let's go to the pit cam and see what's going on there. Is it a standard pit stop? I think it is. Taking his right sides now as Shane Papala's in pit road now. There is. Oh, someone getting it really, really bad. It's sideways going into pit road. Didn't quite see who that was. Let's have a look. I think, yeah, Doug Blackman getting it really sideways going into pit road. Not sure if he's going to get popped for that. Let's keep an eye on that as Shane Papala makes his way out of pit road. Yeah, he's definitely getting popped for it. He's up to 20 seconds in pit road now, so unfortunate there for Doug Blackman. And listen to it. Let's go to the cockpit. We've just heard it. It's using that same strategy used in Las Vegas. Let's listen to Joe Mitchell as he goes into turns 1 and 2. Didn't drop the engine this time round, but he definitely dropped it last time round. That's a strategy that he uses on these 1.5 mile tracks. Likes to drop the engine and save fuel the hard way. Well, not the hard way, but the way he knows how, and that's paid off for him in the past. So definitely trying to make it work for him tonight. As we've got Jeff Glockner up to second place. As the green flag pit stops are underway. We've already established that as Shane Papala is there, just coming up pit road. Let's take a look at the pit cam, see who is on pit road right now. So we've just got Glockner and Giles on pit road. So after being popped for unsafe pit entry, Doug Blackman is now 2 laps down, unfortunately. Brian Neff has fallen to 2 laps down as well, so he got popped in pit road as well. Although he wasn't as bad as Blackman. Blackman was in pit road for over a minute, which is shocking to say the least. Going back to Joe Mitchell, though, he is still out on track. He is our leader still. Justin Rogers. And Justin, if you can hear me after this, that is a beautiful paint scheme, sir. I enjoy seeing fluorescent colours on a car. And I do enjoy Rome as well. Rome is a nice brand. Shane Papala is there in 3rd place now. He's already made his pit stop, as is Tom Clayton. Kurt Davidson is there in 5th. Timothy Lewis, that guy's been on a charge today. He's in 6th place and he's chasing down Timothy Lewis for that top 5 position. He's got Jay Felton right behind him, he's fallen back. Not sure what's happened to Jay there. He's got quite a gap over Timothy Lewis, but has fallen back on all of a sudden. Mike Grandy in 8th. Braden Johnson is up to 9th now. So he is only 1 lap down. He's slowly making a comeback. He's up into the top 10, but it's only a matter of time before he has to pit again, I'm sure. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. is going to make an inside pass on Braden Johnson. As Braden Johnson is on all tyres, Aaron Mulrooney and Jeff Sharp both are on fresh tyres, and they make it look just that easy. Shane Papala, meanwhile, is back on the lead lap. So I wonder if Joe Mitchell's going to try and run this run his car to the end of the stage, as he's just been passed by Brian Neff. Very unconventional strategy for Joe Mitchell, but we've seen this before in the Cup Series, so I'm not really surprised he's using this call to switch off his engine in the corners, but if it's worked before, why not try it again? Let's go down our list of retirement so far. We've only had 1 retirement and 1 non-starter. 1 retirement was Travis Wall after a very, very strange pit stop at the end of the first stage. took his pit stop and then pulled it over and then disconnected. I'm not really sure what happened. If it's a family emergency, then Travis, I do wish you the best, and our thoughts go out to you. But yeah, very, very sudden thing to happen there. As we're still watching Joe Mitchell, he's just been passed by the fast flying Timothy Lewis, and he is flying. As Jay Felton has found his way past Timothy Lewis, actually. So Timothy Lewis, for the first time tonight, actually being passed by somebody. As I just saw smoke on the triangle, I'm not sure who that was from, but we'll soon find out. Back to Joe Mitchell, still not made a pit stop. Neither has Justin Rogers. He's sitting there in second place now. These guys, I'm sure, are trying to run it out to the end of the stage. But if Shelby Parlett in third, he's already made his pit stop. Tom Clayton sits in fourth. In fifth place is Jay Felton. Sixth is Timothy Lewis. Seventh is Kurt Davidson. Eighth is Mike Grandy. Ninth is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. and running out of the top 10 is Jeff Sharp. I've just seen you in the live chat there, Paul. Glad you're checking up on me. And yeah, it is tough on my own, but I think I'm doing okay. Not doing too bad. I'm enjoying this race. It's a good race. No serious like cautions, precautions type of thing. This is good hard racing, as we're seeing that between Mulrooney and Jeff Sharp right now. They're going for it for that ninth position spot. Jeff Sharp is in the 73 there in that black iRacing machine. Aaron Mulrooney is in the Klondike machine in front of him. That's the closest battle out on track right now, as everybody's really spread out after those green flag pit stops. We have 5 to go before the end of the second stage. Making their way down on backstretch. We're still watching Aaron Mulrooney Jr. He's actually put a gap between himself and Sharp now. Let's go look outside the top 10 now. We've got Ronald Henry, who's in 11th place. He's just got past Joe Mitchell as well. Ron Holyfield in the AC Delco car is in 12th. Jeff Clotton 13th. Braden Johnson still there in 14th, 15th now. Billy Howard's just put a pass on him. He's not yet made a pit stop either. Not had the best of races tonight either. Neither has... Wait, where is he? This man, Lupe Gonzalez, had a good run at the start of the race, going through the field. Managed to make his way up to the top 10, but had connection problems. That knocked him back down to the back of the field again, and is currently 4 laps down, so unfortunate for him. Doug Blackman, another one that's had bad fortune. The recent green flag pit stops, he got it sideways going into pit road and got popped for an unsafe pit entry, and that has put him 2 laps down. Brian Neff, he's 2 laps down as well. He got popped for speeding in pit road. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got Joe Mitchell on lap 88 of his run, saving those tyres and fuel as he always does, going into the end of this stage. I'm gonna guess he's saved up enough to make it to the end now, as it's just about to start lap 89 of stage 2. So, white flag on the stage now. Makes his way through turns 1 and 2. Going down the back stretch, he's got nobody threatening him right now. He's on really old tyres and he's on barely any fuel left. but he's going to make it. He's coming through turns 3 and 4. Out comes the green and white checkered flag, and Joe Mitchell wins stage 2 of this Texas race. Finishing second is Shane Pipala. Third on the stage was Tom Clayton. Fourth, Jay Felton. Fifth was Timothy Lewis. Sixth, Kurt Davidson. Seventh is Mike Grandy. Eighth is Aaron Mulrooney. Ninth, Jeff Sharp. And rounding out the top 10 in the stage is Ronald Henry. Some very, very interesting strategies going on here. Lots of tyre saving, lots of fuel saving, and Joe Mitchell, one of the masters of fuel saving, finally making his way down pit road now. Nobody going with him by the looks of things, so he's going to be down there on his own right now. Let's take a look. Shane Pipala follows him as well. So they are going to come down pit road now. As, for some reason, something has happened to Justin Rogers, as he is in pit road and he's been in there for a long time. So Justin Rogers having major troubles at the end of this. I wonder if he ran out of fuel. Stands a good chance as he's put his car behind the wall. So more drama in the pit stops as Joe Mitchell comes back out in the lead. He had a big enough gap over Shane Pipala to actually be able to make it into pit road and not battle anybody coming out because Shane Pipala was too far back. Anyway, let's grab someone for an interview, shall we? Who shall we grab? Let's talk to Joe. Joe Mitchell, Sam up in the booth. Have you got me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Having a great run so far, doing the usual fuel saving strategy. Got the stage win. How well do you reckon you can do from here?
I don't know. I'm having some connection issues. I'll honestly be happy if I finish the race at this point.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of guys have connection issues. Lupe's had a disconnect already tonight. Hopefully you'll be able to keep the connection going and keep the good run going at the start. How's the car feeling out there tonight?
It's not too bad for the first handful laps. It starts to get kind of tight on exit. Just got to be mindful of that, keep it out of the wall, try to bring this thing home in one piece.
Absolutely. Any shout outs you want to give before we get throw you back down?
I'd just like to thank you for coming on board tonight doing this. I really appreciate it.
No worries. Okay, thanks, Joe, and we'll let you get back down to the team, and good luck for the rest of the race.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That was Joe Mitchell, our current race leader. And you heard it here first tonight, guys. He's actually having connection problems, so... Oh, he's living on the edge tonight. Yeah, some people like to live dangerously, and some people like to live on the edge of their seats. And I'm more of an edge of my seat type of guy, but different horses, different courses. As the lights are off on the pace car now, Shane Pipala is going to restart on the front row alongside Joe Mitchell. As they made their way through turns 1 and 2. And this is going to be a straight run to the end now on lap 94. So from lap 94 onwards, we are green to the end. Making their way through turns 3 and 4 now. Joe Mitchell has only got one more stage to clinch it. Shane Pipala, can he do anything about it this time as the pace car peels off? Joe Mitchell gets on the loud pedal and gets a clean start. Shane Pipala gets a bit stuck on that outside. That's going to let Jay Felton there, but not really that much, to be honest, and that's going to let Tom Clayton come down into third place. Jay Felton got a bit held up behind Shane Pipala, who has managed to stay in second place. Well, Tom Clayton getting a really, really good start on that, starting the third stage. We got Kurt Davidson in a battle with Aaron Mulrooney Jr. Mulrooney's got the inside line on that backstretch. Going into turn 3 now. Can he get the momentum? There is Grandy as well. He's going to try and make a gap on and through the middle, is he? No. He's going to push Davidson on that outside. Davidson's going to get the clear as they go across the line. Mulrooney Jr. still there. He's got Grandy on the outside. Grandy's backed off a bit now. We've got Henry and Sharp there behind them. So they are still, well, they're all bunched up again, let's face it. We've got a nice 9-car pack there. Throw a blanket over those guys. As we've got Ronald Henry having a few connection problems there. That's going to let Holyfield through. He's had to back off a bit. Here comes Holyfield. And Holyfield's going to take that position away from Henry. Holyfield up into the top 10 now. Meanwhile, back at the front, we've got Joe Mitchell, who's actually got a half a second lead over Shane Pipala now, who's now got a 0.7 of a second lead over Tom Clayton, and Tom Clayton himself has got a 0.2 of a second lead over Jay Felton. Jay Felton still holding on to that 4th place, but here, look who it is again, up into the top 5 finally, is Timothy Lewis. That number 4 car, true to its name, it is freaky fast tonight. Making his way out of turn 2, trying to close down that number 33 of Jay Felton in the Skoll Bandit car. Going for the triangle now. Got a bit more of a run on Jay Felton as they make their way into turn 1 and 2. Getting a run there. Can he make something work out of this? The number 4 is on a flyer tonight. Shane Pipala now has actually made some time up on Joe Mitchell. He's 0.3 of a second behind the 18. Joe Mitchell is still out there in front. We've not had the we've got at least 2 more stops to go, I think, before we see the end of this race. I wonder if Joe Mitchell can actually use that fuel saving strategy again to stay out in front. Go back to the battle between Jay Felton and Timothy Lewis. Very close battle in between the 33 and the 4 right now. Aaron Mulrooney Jr., he's in a battle with Mike Grandy for that 7th spot. Everybody's spread out again now. Let's not forget Jeff Sharp's back there behind the 12. He's watching to see how this battle shapes up as they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Turns 1 and 2. I'm having a bad night. At the back of the field, let's have a look at Braden Johnson. He's chasing down Ronald Henry. Braden Johnson is on a charge after those connection issues, the issues he had earlier in the race. Lupe Gonzalez has put his car behind the wall, it looks like, as has Justin Rogers. As I've already mentioned, the only car that's more than one lap down now is Brian Neff, who's on his own there. He's the last car running, I'm afraid. Doug Blackman has managed to get one of his laps back. He is now in 17th place. Tim Giles there in the 19. He's got some severe damage to the front end of his car. Not sure what happened there. He's sitting there in 16th. Len McNeese, not really spoke much about him tonight. He's in 15th with Jeff Blackman right in front of him. That's a battle there between the 24 and the 84 for 14th place. Braden Johnson is a bit further up the road. He's just got by Ronald Henry. Billy Howard there in 12th place. He's making his way. He's all on his own right now. As Timothy Lewis has fallen back a bit further from Jay Felton, maybe now is the time to start saving those tyres, as this is the longest run of the night towards the end of the race. Only 40 laps to go at the line. There is our leader, Joe Mitchell, crossing that line now. 40 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Making his way out of the turn 4 over the finish line now. Shane Parler is now 0.6 of a second behind. He's also backed off a bit. Not really many battles going on right now. And the closest battle we've got is between Mulrooney and Grandy right now for that 7th spot. Still battling out between those two. For the dead air. Responding to a text message. People interrupting me while I'm broadcasting. Not good, guys, not good. Now, back to the battle at hand. We've got the 07 ahead of the 12. Jeff Sharp still sitting back there just watching what's happening. Not really doing much, just running his own race. Ronald Henry is in the top 10 still. Ron Holyfield is dropped back a bit now. He's got Jeff Glockner over the back of him. I wonder if Holyfield's had a few problems there as they made their way through turns 1 and 2. Joe Mitchell has extended his lead to a second now over Shane Papala. So Joe Mitchell has really put the foot down now, and he's really gapping that number 89 car. He's got a nice 2.3 second gap over Tom Clayton in third, who himself has got a nice little gap over Jay Felton, who was actually pulled away from Timothy Lewis. Kurt Davidson in there in 6th place. He's not under any pressure whatsoever. He's not given any pressure either, so just running his race, getting that top 10. Not bad going there. Back to the battle between Grandy and Mulrooney. Grandy's on the inside now, and he takes away that position from Mulrooney. Mulrooney holding on to that outside line as they go over the tri-oval. Across the line, and Grandy takes away 7th place, finally gets that position. There's Braden Johnson in the background. He's making moves for the field still. So Grandy finally making that move at Mulrooney Jr. Great move for that number 12 car. Mulrooney still able to hold on behind Grandy. Can he get a run on the exit of turn 4? Looks like he's getting a bit of a run now, but can't really do anything about it. Stuck behind the 12. I say, here comes Jeff Sharp as well. He's right behind Mulrooney as well. He fancies a chance at taking away 8th place from Mulrooney. As we see Braden Johnson there, the first car a lap down, so should a caution come out now, he'll be getting the lucky dog as he's making a move on Jeff Sharp now. Having a slight look on that outside, but not really making any moves. I think he's just appreciating the draft right now. Everybody getting really spread out now. Mike Grandy is actually starting to put a gap between himself and Mulrooney Jr. So Mike Grandy has been released now. Kurt Davidson is on his own still, but he is being caught. Brian Neff, he's falling back through the field. He's obviously the last car running. So we've got one in the wall. Oh, and he's spinning. That is Grandy. Grandy's turned. Grandy's got loose coming out of turn 2. Let's go back about 15 seconds and watch that. Got into the wall on the exit of turn 2, got really loose, hits Mulrooney. Mulrooney goes into the wall. Brian Neff gets into him, as does Jeff Sharp. And that is unfortunate for Grandy. He was having such a good run. Manages to keep it going, but he's got some significant damage on that car. The green stays out, thankfully, and he's going to bring it down pit road to get some damage fixed, as he's still there on pit road. Donald Blackman bringing down pit road. He's got some damage on his car, so I wonder if he was caught in that. So back to Aaron Mulrooney. He's got the damage fixed. Oh, that is some serious damage on that 07. Meanwhile, through all of that, that's promoted Ronald Henry up to 6th place. Oh, someone's... Kurt Davidson. Oh, Kurt Davidson spins in the pit road. That's going to be bad for him. Everybody is making mistakes now. What is going on here? Let's go back another 5 seconds. There we go. Bringing it down for pit road. Kurt Davidson, trying to slam on the brakes, and he just loses it, spins in pit road. Joe Mitchell getting it all wrong in pit road as well. Let's go back 10 seconds and watch what happened to Joe. Go back another 5 seconds and see what happened. No, another 5 seconds. Let's go and watch there, that'll do. Slowing it down for pit road, Joe Mitchell slowing on the brakes, and he just absolutely gets it wrong on the entrance. Does a donut for good measure on the infield. That's going to cost him a heap of time, as he is now back out on track. But what is that going to do for his race now after that horrible mistake on pit road? Very, very unfortunate there for the number 18. Meanwhile, we've got Ronald Henry now in pit road. Overshoots his pit box. Unfortunate for the number 75. As we now got Shane Papala out in front. I believe he is now our official leader after that mistake by Joe Mitchell. Try and find a battle for you guys, because I know you like to see these battles, but everyone is really spread out. We've got Braden Johnson in 2nd place right now. He's yet to pit, so hopefully trying to make the mistakes from others work in his favour. Tom Clayton there in 3rd place. I believe he's just been down pit road, so he's in a net second place. Timothy Lewis, he could get a top 3 out of this. He's actually doing really well tonight. Really enjoying watching him race tonight. Joe Mitchell is now down to a net. Is in 4th, but is in a net 5th. Is in 5th, but is in a net 4th place. As Brendan Johnson is still yet to make a pit stop. Closing down on Timothy Lewis. This is now our battle for 4th place. John Mitchell is going to be like a man on a mission after that mistake he made in pit road. Getting around Braden Johnson, who's got no life left in those tyres, so that number 8 machine doing the right thing and getting out of the way as Joe Mitchell gets a run on Lewis. Not going to make a move this time round. Lewis is defending for his life in that Mustang. Still battling out for that 3rd place position now after passing Braden Johnson. So this is a battle for the final step of the podium. Well, there's no podiums in NASCAR, but you know what I mean. And they are closing up on Tom Clayton as well. They're only 6 tenths behind, so a nice battle for 2nd place brewing as Mitchell makes a move on the inside, makes it look easy as he gets around the number 4 of Timothy Lewis and back up to 3rd place. 22 laps to go, 21 at the line as Shane Papala crosses the line. 21 laps remaining. Go back to Ronald Henry, who overshot his pit box. He's down in 8th place after that mistake, but he is still there. Ron Holyfield is in 9th place. Aaron Mulrooney with that damage rounds out the top 10. Kurt Davidson also carrying damage after that mistake in pit road. He is in 11th. Mike Grandy still running. He is in 12th. Billy Howard in 13th. Len McNeese is the first car a lap down. He is in 14th. Doug Blackman 2 laps down. He's in 15th. 16th is Jeff Glockner. He's now 2 laps down. Not sure what happened to him. Tim Giles is in 17th. He's 2 laps down too. And Brian Neff 3 laps down after he got damaged from that incident between Mulrooney and Grandy. Back to Tom Clayton. He's been passed actually by Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell now up into 2nd place. Clayton is now under pressure from Lewis, who really fancies a chance of getting that 3rd place away from the number 66. Let's not forget Tom Felton is there in the background as well. He'll be watching this with a lot of interest. And up until now, Tom Clayton's had a really, really quiet race to be compared to everybody else. So be interested to see how he battles it out with the number 4 as they make their way through 1 and 2 and going on to the backstretch. Question is, has Joe Mitchell got enough time to catch up to Shane Papala? He is currently 5.5 seconds behind the 89. He's got a lot of catching up to do, although Shane Papala is having to deal with lap traffic. Just got round Mike Grandy. And the time is going down. Mitchell has taken another 10th off Papala. As we're now 17 laps to go, about to go 16 laps to go. Mitchell is definitely catching him as we get into the closing stages of this race. But does he have enough time? That's the question. Has he got enough speed in that car to get that gap down and make it a bit more interesting, as he's now coming up on Billy Howard to put a lap on him. Dives it down the inside, laps Billy Howard very easily. The gap is now down to 5.1 seconds. Shane Papala responding and gaining a tenth back off Joe Mitchell. Now he's in clean air. He's actually got some... He can actually not deal with lap traffic anymore and get the speed back up. Joe Mitchell responds again. He's got it back down to 5 seconds now. So this is actually working out somewhat in Shane Papala's favour, because he's actually made it so in the closing stages of this race he's actually got enough of a gap over Joe Mitchell. Joe Mitchell must be absolutely ruined that mistake he made in pit road by spinning out into the infield. And he's having to play catch up right now. Meanwhile, Timothy Lewis has actually got past Tom Clayton now. He's up into third place. Tom Clayton now under pressure from Jay Felton. This is our closest battle out on track right now. 66 really struggling now to stay ahead of the other cars around him, as we've got a... Wow, what is going on there? Timothy Lewis getting into it with somebody. I'm not sure who that was. Let's go back and watch that. Oh, what happened there? Billy Howard getting into the rear end of Timothy Lewis, almost taking him out, and again hits him up the rear end. A few shenanigans going on there between the 4 and the 87, and I'm pretty sure Timothy Lewis is not a happy driver in that cockpit right now. Jay Felton has now moved up to 4th. Tom Clayton has reclaimed that 3rd place. Timothy Lewis a distant 5th place. Jeff Sharp now catching him in 6th place, because I'm pretty sure Timothy Lewis is going to lose a lot of speed with that rear end damage. Back to our battle for 3rd place between Clayton and Felton. Clayton's got a nice 4/10 of a second gap over Felton. So no threats from behind so far for Clayton. He's actually starting to gap Felton, so not too bad. Meanwhile, let's go back to our 2nd place runner Joe Mitchell. He's actually closing in on Shane Papala. He's got it down to 4.2 seconds now. 10 laps to go. I seriously doubt he's got enough time to close that gap enough in order to battle it out for that win. So Joe Mitchell gonna maybe have to settle for 2nd place. Shane Papala out on his own at the moment. 9 laps to go. On the backstretch, Joe Mitchell really close to hitting the wall. We saw in the distance. Really driving on the edge right now to try and catch that number 89. He is actually catching him a lot more quicker now, so he's really put the hammer down in that number 18 car. We have 8 laps to go now. 3.5 seconds the gap now between the 18 and the 89. And Joe Mitchell driving like a man possessed now as he makes his way through turn 3 and 4. The gap still at 3.5 seconds, not able to close the gap that time round. Inside of turn 2 onto the backstretch, very close to that wall. He's a man on the edge right now. Gap down to 3.4 seconds. It's not enough. He needs to close that gap even more, but Shane Papala really doing wonders right now to try and control that gap and try and slow it down as much as possible. 6 laps to go, going through 1 and 2. Shane Papala, this race is his to lose. Meanwhile, in 3rd place we've got Tom Clayton. has managed to gain a second over Jay Felton now, who looks like he's settling for 4th place. Timothy Lewis is in 5th after that incident with the 87 of Billy Howard. Jeff Sharp is in 6th. Ronald Henry is in 7th. Ron Hollifield is in 8th. Kurt Davidson is in 9th. And Aaron Mulrooney, damaged car and all, is rounding out the top 10, even with Mike Grandy. He's got a severely damaged car after that incident with the 07. He's in 11th place. Braden Johnson, he is there in 12th place. Billy Howard in 13th. 14th is Len McNeese. Very quiet race he's had tonight. Jeff Glockner silently fallen back. He's now in 15th. Doug Blackman in 16th. 17th is Tim Giles. And 18th is Brian Neff. And Brian Neff is our last runner on the track. We are 4 laps to go. The gap now between Joe Mitchell and Shane Pipala is 2.8 seconds. The gap is getting ever slower between the 18 and the 89. Does Joe Mitchell have enough to keep the pace up and actually close that gap between him and Shane? It's hard to say, but we know what Joe's like. He's a tryer and he will try his best until the end, as we are now 3 laps to go. Making his way down the backstretch. They are both on the same piece of track now, both ends of the backstretch, as the popsicle sticks are about to come out with 2 to go. It's not going to be enough for Joe Mitchell. Popsicle sticks are out, 2 to go. And Shane Pipala really has just got to keep his foot down and make sure that Joe Mitchell stays behind him. Joe Mitchell is 2.5 seconds behind him now. He's managed to get that down from 5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. That's pretty good running from Joe Mitchell. Trying his hardest to close down as the white flag is now out. 1 more lap to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Shane Pipala, 2.5 seconds to the good over Joe Mitchell. And Shane Pipala has been coming and going throughout this race. Been close to the front, and it was that one mistake that helped him get to the front. And even after that mistake, Shane Pipala has had the speed to keep it at the front, making his way through 3 and 4. Coming out of turn 4, and Shane Pipala wins at Texas Motor Speedway. Joe Mitchell's going to bring it home in 2nd. Tom Clayton going to come home in 3rd place. Jay Felton 4th. Timothy Lewis coming home in 5th. Jeff Sharp in 6th. Ronald Henry, a creditable 7th. 8th will go to Ron Hollifield. 9th, Kurt Davidson. And rounding out the top 10 is Aaron Mulrooney Jr. But the night belongs to Shane Pipala. What a run he's had tonight. Joe Mitchell, heart's got to go out to him. He controlled most of the race, but that mistake on that last pit stop really put a dent in his chances to race. Managed to get the gap down from 5 seconds to 2.5 seconds, but it just was not enough, and he drove his heart out to try and get it. But there is our winner, Shane Pipala. And while we let him get his burnouts in, there it is. And there is our winner, Shane Pipala. As we can now reach out to our top 3. Let's go to 3rd place finisher Tom Clayton. Tom Clayton, Sam up in the booth. Have you got me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Very creditable 3rd place finish there. Very close battling near the end, but a mistake by Timothy Lewis helped you get back up there. How did you think you'd lost that 3rd place once he got past you?
Yeah. Tim was on newer tires, and I knew I couldn't hold him off, and I moved up, let him go, and I saw him get tangled up with, I think it was a lap car. So I guess lucky for me, but he definitely had a faster car than me.
Absolutely, but you kept it very much to yourself in the race. I mean, not really in many battles tonight, but you managed to keep it up there in the top 5 and just basically kept to your own race. Was that your strategy from the get-go? Just run your own race and not try to battle anybody?
Yeah, I mean, I had a top 5 car. I definitely wasn't as fast as Joe or Shane, but you know, I had a pretty decent car. I knew if I just kept my nose clean and had a good pit stops, I you know, can sneak a top 5 out of it. So luckily, it worked out that way.
Okay, fantastic. And looking forward to the next race. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like this league a lot. These guys are a lot of fun to race around, so definitely looking forward to it.
Okay, awesome. Anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's third place?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Paul for what he does here. SOMO put on a heck of a league here, and it's a lot of fun racing here. All my my teammates and my competitors, it's a lot of fun. Thank you.
No problem. I'll let you get back to your room and celebrate your third place.
Thank you.
That one? Okay, that was Tom Clayton there, finishing in third place. Now let's go to our second place driver. Sorry, Tom, I didn't mean to move you to the wrong room. Joe Mitchell, probably not the happiest man out there, but I've got to speak to him. Joe coming home in second place. Probably not the happiest man out there tonight, but what happened out there?
The old broadcaster curse.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it wasn't your fault. I was just trying to get too much coming on the pit road, and I was speeding. I tried to get it slowed down, and it didn't react quite anywhere near how I was expecting it to, and went for a spin. That's going to hurt for a while.
Yeah, pretty much. And you were driving like a man possessed after that pit stop, though. You managed to get the gap from 5 seconds to 2.5 seconds. If you had a bit longer, do you reckon you would have caught Shane?
I know that he had to have been saving something, but I feel like, yeah, if I had a little bit longer, I probably could have got there. But getting there and making a pass is two completely different things. It was tough to pass tonight, especially on equal stuff. So I was talking to him a little bit. Congrats. I mean, he was there to capitalize on a mistake. So it's just the way it goes sometimes. We'll just move on and go from there.
Yeah, speaking of moving on, you've got another chance to try and win it again here at Texas tomorrow night in the Cup Cars. What are your thoughts on this race in the Cup Cars tomorrow?
They handle a lot differently, for sure. They're way more loose, so tomorrow is going to be more fun. I think we're going to see some better racing, more passing. I'm really looking forward to it. I like running here, and hopefully I get a little bit of redemption tomorrow.
Absolutely. I know I already asked if you wanted to shout anybody out in the last time I spoke to you, but is there anybody you wanted to thank for tonight's second place? Yeah,
I'd like to thank Paul, the league owner. Oh, crap. You guys for coming on board and doing all this. My teammates, MB Motorsports, Tom, Adam, Seth, Ryan. A few of those guys weren't here tonight, but shout out to them. It makes it fun to be here. All these great guys. It's so fun to race against all these guys. It's really tough competition. And I'd like to thank my wife and son also.
Awesome. Okay, Joe, we'll let you get back down to your room and celebrate your second place.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Joe Mitchell sounding very disappointed there to be coming home in second place. Maybe ruined that mistake on pit road, but that's let the winner for tonight's race take advantage of that and took the checkered flag. Came home with the win tonight. Shane Papala, how do you feel after that?
I feel pretty good. I feel kind of bad because I didn't have anything for him. I definitely had a second place car. Joe was definitely the class of the field by far. He just made that little mistake coming on pit road, and I was close enough to capitalize on it.
Absolutely. I mean, you were there for the whole race. You were in that top 5 for both of the stages, and you were there in that third stage, and especially near the end of pit stops. Were you surprised that Joe made that mistake on that on the money stop of all stops?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Joe's pretty rock solid. He doesn't make many mistakes like that. So for him to do something like that, something must have seriously went wrong. But it worked out in our favor, so I'm pretty happy.
Absolutely, and you did look extremely happy as you came to do your burnouts. You literally threw it across the track, and yeah, you looked like a very happy and relieved person at the end of that.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice to be in position all night, and like I said, be there to capitalize on somebody's mistake. So it was fun, had a good time. I'm glad we were there.
Okay, Shane, is there anyone you'd like to thank for tonight's win?
Yeah, I'd like to thank both for coming up and broadcasting tonight. I didn't think we were going to be broadcast, so I really appreciate you guys jumping up and broadcasting us. I got to thank all my teammates at SK Motorsports, all the admins at SOMO, and of course my beautiful wife for letting me have my hobbies and have some fun.
Okay, fantastic. Look, just before you go, looking forward to tomorrow's Cup race. How are you feeling from that car around this track?
Pretty good. I think I'll be hopefully in the top 5 again. I feel I have the capability to run up there again and stay in contention all night. Something like that could happen again tomorrow and double up.
Absolutely, try and sweep the week, as they say. Anyway, Shane, congrats on the win. Very well deserved, and yeah, I'll let you get back up to your room and celebrate your win for tonight's race.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Very happy and relieved Shane Papala there at the end of this race, as very well should be. Before we go, let's go to our results. Before we go to our results, sorry, let me just get rid of all these, because why not? Now, before we go, let's go to our results. Let's put some music on while we're at it. Bringing home the win tonight after a mistake by Joe Mitchell, Shane Papala, very happy coming home at the top step. Joe Mitchell, as I've already mentioned, coming home second. Third place was Tom Clayton after a mistake by Timothy Lewis, getting into it with a lapped car. Fourth place was Jay Felton, coming home in fifth was Timothy Lewis, as I've already mentioned. Sixth place Jeff Sharp, seventh Ronald Henry, 8th Ron Holyfield, 9th Kurt Davidson, and rounding out the top 10 was Aaron Mulrooney Jr. with a damaged car. Mike Grandy came home 11th. 12th was Braden Johnson, 13th was Billy Howard, 14th Len McNeese, 15th Jeff Glockner, 16th Doug Blackman. Tim Giles came home 17th. Brian Neff was the last car running, he finished 18th. 19th was Lupe Gonzalez, 20th was Justin Rogers, 21st was Travis Wall. Oh, what could have been for him after that, until he suddenly disconnected after the first pit stop at the end of the first stage. Tony Rice not taking a start. Right, let's go to the end of our show, as we are looking forward to Texas tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow for Texas in the Cup Cars. See you then.